The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Damn!
You are watching The DL Show on Dave's Guitar Channel.
RL with the fonts, with the, I don't know what the hell those are. Anyways, everybody, we're back. It is Wednesday, May 8th. If I'm not mistaken, today is Joe's father's birthday.
Yeah. It's also
All right.
Michael's birthday.
And that's what I just said, your father's birthday. See? I pay attention when you say something. All right, guys, how are we going around the horn? How's everything going? Matt, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you doing?
Very good, thanks. How about you, Krellbar?
It's going. We were talking about
That sounds mildly positive. And you, Joe?
I'm doing good today. Last 2
All right,
weeks, not so good, but much better today.
Yeah, I'm better
Well,
today myself.
Is that another new guitar behind you there, Krellbar? With the
probably like a couple months ago, yeah.
okay.
It's a Volgoa.
A what?
Volgoa. And I did a little demonstration a couple weeks ago with it where I can take the whammy bar, go all the way down, flap the strings, and it stays perfectly in tune.
And no Floyd?
No Floyd.
Wow.
No Floyd, no lock and nut. Has lock and tuners.
Is that one of the bargain things?
Yeah, $150.
Wow.
Stainless steel frets, the truss rod wheel, everything. It's got everything that Fender doesn't have.
And is this of Chinese descent?
Oh, yes.
Krell, why don't you get it? Because maybe the people watching have no idea what you're talking about, because for some reason, I have no recollection of this.
I don't remember it either.
It's like time goes by.
If Joe showed it, I would have remembered it.
Well, he's not going for the one I was talking. Yeah, no, that's it.
Here he is.
Okay. I'm
going to big screen him. I'm going to big screen him.
Okay.
All righty. Let me put my headphone on. Okay.
All right. Wow.
Oh, I kind of remember this guitar. This guitar reminds me of the Al Di Meola.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of too. That's kind of attractive. And like I explained before, I broke off a string tree in there. Don't even need it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I do remember the string tree broken. Let me see.
Yeah,
Is
you
that
showed that like a couple of weeks ago.
Is that a roasted maple neck?
Yes, it is.
And they look like the Delta Godo tuners. Are those the Godo 510s?
You know what? It feels like one. I mean,
they look like the 510 Godos, the Delta tuners. Let me see let me see the tuners there. They're not branded on the back?
No, I don't think so. Gonna make me read tiny stuff. Oh,
Are
wait a
they
second.
they're locking?
Yes.
They look like
What does it say?
Hang on, I gotta get my glasses. Getting old sucks. It is
Somebody's easy bake oven is finished.
no made in China, Volgoa. It's their
Wow.
brand.
All right, they stole the design from Godot.
They're just the benefit.
Well, I must say, for $150, it's not bad.
It's a handsome instrument.
Not hearing anything you're playing. Dude.
I can't hear a thing he's playing.
Oh, okay. Well, it must be over condensing the mic or something.
Yeah, maybe. But either way, I mean, we can see that it's
Yeah.
we'll pretend it sounds
stays in
good.
tune. And it's a smooth trend.
We'll pretend it's in tune.
Ugh.
Now, that's not Wenge. That's definitely roasted maple.
Uh-huh.
Roasted by Don Rickles. Hey-oh! I've been watching a lot of the Don Rickles roast lately.
Oh.
So, Joe, before we started, folks, we were in the green room, which is neither a room nor is it green. And Joe was saying he's seen a couple of movies. Now, I'm going to say this. All week, except for Monday night because I wasn't feeling great. All week, I've been trying to get to the movies. I want to see in the movie Boy Kills World. Also, Tarot looked interesting to me. And Abigail, the vampire one.
Oh, I never heard of that.
I haven't heard any of those.
They're going to release Nosferatu on Christmas Day this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're going to release him into a crowd?
Yeah. No, they remade Nosferatu with
Go get him.
Skarsgård, Bill Skarsgård, the guy that played Pennywise.
Oh, okay.
So it's him as Nosferatu, and then Johnny Depp's daughter is the female lead. But it's made by the guy who did The Witch. Did you see The Witch?
Okay, who's got the Easy Bake Oven?
That's my
Not
fucking
me.
phone. That's my.
Oh, that's your phone?
Yeah.
It sounds just like when that Easy Bake is done, right? It's
Well, for
like,
some reason, when somebody is sending a
Yeah.
message through WhatsApp, it just dings like that instead of giving me my regular.
right, you can change it, though.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so Joe was saying, and by the way, I didn't see any of those movies. I did watch a couple of movies, but I want to find out what Joe watched first. Joe, what was the movies you saw?
Okay. The other night I watched imaginary horror movies. I love horror movies. I watched Imaginary. I thought it was great. I really liked that.
Who's in it?
I didn't even know it.
I don't know any of the actors, but
That's good.
you'll know the movie poster. It says Imaginary. It's like a creepy looking teddy bear, and it's about a girl.
Oh,
who
yeah,
has
yeah,
an
the magic.
marriage.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now,
I
where
thought it
did
was
you watch that on?
I download everything.
Oh, okay. At first, I thought you were going to say the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus,
Yeah.
which, by the way, I love that movie with Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the last thing he filmed. That was great. Woo, fireworks. Okay, so Imaginary. Yeah, that's recent.
I thought it was, you know what it is? When something is released, the day it's released, the video on demand is streaming, someone's ripped it and uploaded it.
Right.
I get it. So last night I had a fucking ball watching. You just said it yourself, Abigail.
Oh, it was good?
It could have been tightened up with editing, but I really loved it. If it starts off slow but finally picks up, and I just love the concept. I know
love
what
the
it's
concept
about, right?
too. Yeah, about the girl that like pretends she's in danger and they come to.
Well, it's basically you sum it up in one sentence. If you're going to kidnap someone, make sure you're not kidnapping a fucking vampire.
Right. Yeah,
You're
it
gonna
looked
get
great.
fucked.
Here, what
It
are the
is.
chances of
It
that?
is.
And the
It
name
looked
of
great.
it.
I was like, I want to see that. I want to see Boy Kills World only
Wait.
because I love.
Is it just called Abigail?
Yeah, just Abigail.
Oh, ask Joe if Abigail is better than Late Night with the Devil. Did you see Late Night with the
I
Devil?
watched Late Night with the Devil.
What'd you think?
I waited so long for Late Night with the Devil, and Late Night with the Devil. I was very disappointed.
The buildup is strong for such a dud.
Yeah, they. If you ever heard of Red Letter Media, they have like a half-hour review of that, and they explain perfectly. I said it's not terrible, but it follows things perfectly with the old style, the old kind of sets, and all that kind of production. But then they do these things that take you out of it, and the end just went overboard, stupid.
Yeah,
and I was
stupid.
like, really?
Yeah. Let me ask you this: what was better, Abigail or Late Night with the Devil?
Oh, Abigail. I would give Late Night with the Devil 2 stars. Abigail, I'm going to give 4, maybe 4.5, because I really enjoyed the last third of it.
Right, Ariel. You know what's coming next.
Wait. Was Abigail horror or comedy horror or what?
You could say both.
Comedy horror or so.
I think the intention is horror. But if you're into horrors, you'd find it funny. That's how I saw it.
No, because there's plenty of funny stuff in there. There's a very good cast. Everyone does good acting. The special effects are good. It was a great movie.
Yeah, see, I wanted to see that, and RL talked me into seeing Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah.
That's why he's asking me to ask you. King Diamond do the soundtrack for the movie? I don't know. YouTube, The Christmas Shepherd? I don't know what that is. Did the Jonah. Oh, yeah, okay. Anyways, so those are the movies you saw. So what did I watch recently? I watched something.
Let me see if there's anything else I watched.
Before Carnival, RL says it was late night at the Deli for me and DL.
That's a good one.
We've done many a late nights at Izzy's Deli. I think Izzy's is closed now, Matt.
I believe so too. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Izzy's. They had that beef dip sandwich.
Oh, I did see another movie
with the potato pancakes. Yeah, what was it?
I finally got to see Godzilla -1.
Oh, it's great.
Ooh.
Yeah, I fucking loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
But I've always loved Godzilla. You could give me the goofy, worst Godzilla rubber suit, and I'm all for that.
I think this is the best Godzilla movie ever.
It's not as good as everyone was saying, but it was great.
Yeah, like I said, the best Godzilla movie isn't exactly the highest.
Yeah, but the smartest thing that they did, the smartest thing, was use the original Godzilla soundtrack. Because that guy Akira, whatever his name is, that is fucking great. He was awesome.
So you know who Shaoma is on YouTube?
No.
He's a New York kid, but he speaks Chinese.
Oh, I've seen that guy.
Okay, and it's annoying. Like, it's one trick pony. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. And so the problem is, once a video comes in my feed and he's like with somebody else who speaks Japanese, you click on that. The next thing you know, you watch all these other things with Japanese people come up. And there's a lot of people that make touristy, like what to do late night in Japan and Tokyo and this part of Japan. And the whole time I'm watching, like they're walking, not one time did they superimpose Godzilla coming around the corner. And I'm like, these people are missing opportunities. That would be the greatest video on YouTube if a guy meets up with a girl and she's sightseeing with them and they pretend Godzilla's coming and they start running. I'd be all in. I'd be like, that's better than any movie. These people are blowing it. You
Kramer
love
versus Kramer versus Godzilla.
What exactly? Anyways, Langa's has a good. They have a good pastrami, sandwich at Langa's. Now I feel like, you guys know who, you wouldn't know who Eddie Andelman is. Eddie Andelman was a big fat guy who had a show on AM radio back in the 80s and 70s called Sports Huddle. And people would call and he would ask what town you're from. And then he would proceed to talk about the best sandwich you could find around that guy's house.
Oh, God.
It was like 187, 161, whatever the hell the phone number was. This is Eddie Andelman. You're on Sports Huddle. Hey, Eddie, big fan. I'm calling him from Revere. Oh, man, Anna's Pizza. You have a slice of that lately? That was the whole show. Anyways, this guy has 2 kids, and they're now called the Phantom Gourmet.
Yep.
And all these guys do is try to get free grub out of everybody. But it's hilarious. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm looking over. These people now are all talking about deli food and everything. Oh, you're over there on Alvarado? Ah, there's a place called Wanger's Deli. That was great. Now, I know Rel's a big Eddie Andelman fan. Jan, what's happening? I see Jan is on, is it Ukraine television where they're talking about Sam Ash? The only thing I understood was, Sam Ash. That was it. The only word I understood in the whole conversation was Sam Ash.
So, what's the deal with their whole going out of business, man? Because I kind of...
They're done.
Yeah, I know they are, but what brought that on? Is it,
No, I would imagine lack of sales.
Well, I mean, is it because what's the cause of the lack of sales? Is it Sweetwater or?
Sam Ash is one of those companies that was like the poor man's Guitar Center.
Mm-hmm.
And what are they going to do? They used to make Carlo Rebelli? Wasn't that their brand?
I have never.
Yeah, but it was garbage. Like they could have done more with it, but like in most places, they just kind of fall in line. They weren't as. How about this? They weren't doing as good a job as Guitar Center, who does a miserable job, but is way more financing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, people are saying Bidenomics. Yeah, people aren't buying. And yeah, family-owned business can't sustain those kind of losses. Absolutely. And I mean, look at the prices, like a Gibson Les Paul these days. I mean, I don't even think Sam Ash carries Gibson anymore, do they? I don't know, but just in general.
The last one I was in was the one on Sunset, and they did have some, but that was LA too. So
Sam Ash owns Hotkey. Well, they're going to be selling those off. I can tell you that. Zoom and Samson. Are you sure Sam Ash owns those brands? I know they own Carlo Rebelli, if that's what it's called. I don't know what that shitty guitar was called, but like how what was the Guitar Center brand? Mitchell, starring Joe Don Baker.
Mitchell. Every time they said Mitchell, I fucking died.
Yeah, Mitchell, because Wayne Mitchell was the founder of Guitar Center.
And how far behind are they going to be in the closing their doors?
Well, I mean, they've been struggling, but they have all kinds of outside sources that don't want them to fail, so they keep getting money injected into them.
Yeah,
outside sources.
Look at RL's throwing a Dice Clay line at you. You got to be resourceful when you want to get some ash. That's a good one, RL. Sam Ash. It's funny.
I think
it's a great place to meet musicians and shoot the breeze. Well, any music store is if it's a good music store. The Sam Ash on Sunset wasn't very good. Do you agree with that, Matt?
Yeah.
That was like you weren't making the trip into Hollywood on Sunset to go to Sam Ash. It was like if you had to go to the Mesa store or you had to go to Guitar Center or you had to accost the prostitutes walking in front of the Directors Guild. Either way, number two, I'll give you 2 points of advice. That's the only time you're going to Sam Ash, and you're better off going down Figueroa for the hookers. Thank you. It was good on 34th. Oh, they had one in New York on 34th? I've been to the Guitar Center like on 42nd. I think it is a 43rd. I don't know exactly what street it's on, but it was a decent one. But overall, I don't like those stores. I mean, in Los Angeles, there's way better music stores. You can go to Norman's Rare Guitars. You can go to what True Tone Music is good. Kurt Childress says Guitar Center locks the better guitar. Yeah, I mean, I've never been a fan of Guitar Center. Norman's is my dream place. Yeah, it's a nice little shop up there. I like it up there. You've been up there, Matt, yeah?
Yeah, I've been there before.
Yeah. I've never been to Ed Roman in Vegas. I'll tell you, there's a great shop if you like Gibsons in Tucson, Arizona. I think it's called Rainbow Guitars. In Tucson is a great shop. That's one of the best Gibson dealers I've ever been in. Good guy who owns it. It's a family shop. It's good. Trying to think where else I've been that LA has a lot of small shops that are good. There's one I don't even know if it's still there. Is Time Warp still there in Venice?
No idea. Probably not.
It was a used place, but it always had good stuff.
There was a place right on down from Gold's too. Remember that shop?
Sunset.
On
which one?
Sunset.
The one on Rose.
Yes.
He closed recently.
Oh, did he? I figured he closed a long time ago.
No. First of all, he was never open to the public.
Right.
And I knew a girl that rented from him because he owned that whole building and he had apartments in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So the girl was like, "Oh, do you want to go check that place out sometime?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "All right, well, tell me when." So I reached out to her and I said, "Yeah, tell him I'd like to swing by there." So I went by there. He had some beautiful guitars, especially if you like early 80s, late 70s plain top, like Les Pauls without any finish on it. It's just natural. You never see those with maple necks with a rosewood fingerboard, but the back of the neck was maple and clear. It was really cool. But he wanted top dollar for everything. And he never opened for anybody unless he knew you. It was like, and he said he was so jaded in the business. He was like, I don't want to deal with people.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, that place closed. I saw an article recently that said he closed. Kenneth Tagar. You guys ever see the movie Just One of the Guys? I said to Kenneth, he said, I heard it closed. I said, how did you know? He goes, I read your article. I know 3 people that would laugh at that joke. I'll be one of them.
I remember that movie, but I never watched it.
Yeah, you never watched it?
No, I never
I used to do cardio next to Joyce Heiser at Gold's Gym. Did you ever see her at Gold's? You might really not know who she was, Matt. Joyce Heiser. I did cardio next to her one day. I look over at her. I'm like, I loved you when I was a kid. She was like, oh, you made my day.
That name's familiar.
Hugh Caldwell says casino guitars, you'll see some interesting hairstyles. Absolutely. The gentlemen there comb their hair with a loaf of bread. True Tone Music used to be on Santa Monica, was cool. They moved to another building. Yeah, they moved to a building, what's his name sold out of his share in the place. Ken Daniels sold to Sunir. And so Sunir became one of the owners, and then they moved it. I haven't been there. That's funny, Hugh Caldwell. Oh, she is? Well, I said I loved her when I was a kid, not anymore.
So this James Dickinson mentions a music store that's right down the street from my house.
Oh, Music Arts Enterprise in Davie, Florida?
Yeah, it's actually not in Davie, but it's on Davie Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. It's actually
okay.
Because it is east of State Road 7, so it's in Fort Lauderdale. But Davie's.
All right. Hey, James Dickinson, is that where you are? You must be, huh? Because you said it's lots of boutique amps and great guitars.
Yeah, no, I'm actually going to be working with that store probably.
Nice.
Sometime this month.
Have you read about the Michael Anthony comments on the Eddie Tribute Project? I haven't. Did I mention that Michael Anthony is the only likable member of the original Van Halen? I just want to make sure, because next week, folk, we have David Lee Roth will be here. Actually, he won't be invited on the show. He's going to be a stowaway. That's a Dr. Smith joke, folks, for anyone that's not paying attention.
Oh, I had to read into that one.
Oh, the pain. What did he say? What did Michael Anthony say, Jan? Has anyone been to Chicago Music Exchange? You know who loves that store, is John Bingham. And that's supposedly a really nice shop. Also, I think Eddie's Guitars out in like Kansas or something, and Dave's Guitars in Wisconsin. Alex Van Halen's a jerk. Oh, I think he's a dink. Just watch any of the interviews with him and Eddie, and they're talking about whoever they don't like, and they just repeat each other. Yeah, they seem like a couple of dinks. Internal disputes ruin the plans. Listen, they're better off. All they got to do is go on YouTube. Somebody's doing a tribute to Eddie every day on YouTube. Eddie, I'm sure he has a lot of great guitars of everything. Let me tell you, the fact that Eddie died, and look, it's awful what he went through, but Alan Holdsworth died too.
Yeah, that was a shocker.
And Holdsworth, I'm sorry, you can call Eddie any kind of genius you want. Holdsworth was another level.
Yeah.
That guy's a freak. A freak.
I forget what killed him.
I think he had a stroke.
Did he?
Or a heart attack
or something like that. I think it was heart failure.
Yeah, because there was never any word of him being sick or,
But nobody ever talks about him. No one. It's like Holdsworth. Yeah, whatever. Eddie Van Halen. Oh my God. Yeah, the first 6 Van Halen albums. Yes, he was great.
Well, that's because
moving into 5150.
No one but guitar players knows about old Alan Holdsworth. That's why.
Yeah. Oh yeah, YouTube should stop pushing the Brown Sound videos. It's because that's the way they sell views. There's a video I think where Steve Vai even says Eddie played his rig and he said it's all of a sudden it sounded like Eddie. It sounded like Eddie's rig. The sound is what you're gonna play. It doesn't matter. Look, Alan Holdsworth sounded fantastic on Carvin amps. Do I have to say more? The guy's fantastic on anything, whatever that. George Groon. No, I haven't been to George Groon's. You think he may have been a big drinker? The name of his studio is The Brewery.
He always had a beer in his hand.
I think he had beer in his veins. Yeah, I don't think it's strange. I mean, when you start getting into the whole diagnosis of why people's hearts go out in food, being fit doesn't mean anything. That's just, how certain people react. Some people get fat, some people get clogged arteries. But I'm not going down the carnivore loophole today, folks. Just stay away from oil. That's the lesson for today.
Did you ever see him live, Al? Dave?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him, I got to tell you. First of all, I saw him in Boston in like 91.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who opened was Wayne Krantz, who absolutely blew me away with what a great tone this guy had, how clean he played. And I'll say to anybody right now, one of my favorite guitar albums of all time is Wayne Krantz's first album, Signals. And I was there to see it. I actually bought it from him at that show. And I was just blown away how he played. And then Holdsworth gets up and played. And some of the stuff he did, he was using the syntax.
Mm-hmm.
So he did a lot of a Tavacron non-brewed condiment. And he was fantastic too.
Mm-hmm.
But he was getting pissed off at the audience. And I found that funny. I was somewhat in the back, but there was all these Berkeleyites in the front. And he was like, I hate playing anywhere near the Berkeley School. You fuckers, all you do is stare at my hands. He's like, you got to sit back and listen. You don't listen to music. And he's like screaming at these guys. You don't listen to music. You got to listen. It's not about what this is. It's what is this hearing? And I was like, I was with a friend of mine that I worked with her at a restaurant. And I was like, he's making a good point, but I'm just so glad we didn't sit up front. How do you not stare at the guy's hands? He looks like a fucking spider with fucking Tourette's. You know what I mean? It's like, Christ.
I saw him in like 85 at a hotel in Hollywood, and it was the Road Games album he was promoting. And I had the choice between that or You'll Love This, or going to see Dokken at the Whiskey or something.
Rockin' with Dokken.
You made the right choice.
But then I wound up seeing
You have chosen wisely.
I saw him 2 more times, though. I saw him at the Musicians Institute in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He did a show there. And then I saw him at a place they call the Iridium in New York City in Manhattan. Saw 2 shows at that. And,
the guy's awesome. I mean, he's just absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Road Games was a great Tokyo Dream is on that album.
Yep.
That's a great record. I always loved the album after that too. With that Metal Fatigue.
Uh-huh.
I always thought Metal Fatigue and Road Games were my 2 favorite records. Although, as I got older, None Too Soon has become my favorite. Has become my favorite Holdsworth record because he does more traditional jazz, and I love that record.
Mm.
Tone Merchants was Bob. Okay, Friedman brought out Robin with Hollywood.
Have you ever seen his chord books?
Oh yeah, yeah. Frank Gambale I've seen live a few times. I was friendly with Frank for a while. Frank used to come out to my shows when Aaron Ann and I did country shows. He would come out and hang out if he was in town because he was transitioning into a bald man. No, he was transitioning. I'm joking, Frank, if you're watching. You were bald all the time. You just wore a wig. He was transitioning from moving his place because I think he was in Glendale for a while. He had a music school in Glendale, and he was moving to Palm Springs.
Is he gay?
And well, that's why I said he was.
You are gay.
No, I think he was just. It's cheaper out there, and
gay?
Well, I'm just saying. No, I asked if Frank Gambale was.
Actually, I have a. I mean, I have a. Matt, you may have not have seen this. I have an interview with Frank Gambale here. Hold on one second.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
It works on so many levels.
Yeah, it's so great. Actually, Gambale's not gay. He's a really great guy, I got to say. I like Frank a lot. And he's a hell of a fucking player.
Yeah, he is. The reason I asked is because Glendale is a large, got a large community of that.
Oh, it does? Glendale's really like an Armenian community over there.
I just know.
A lot of Armenians. And I don't know, is Frank Armenian? What is he?
I don't know. I thought he was Italian.
No, he's Australian.
Glenn or Glendale?
Well, we know he's Australian, but Gambale is not what you would call an Australian from English heritage name.
Yeah, I think he's Italian.
That sounds Italian.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I'm just saying, maybe his wife or whoever was Armenian, because that's a heavy Armenian neighborhood.
Mm.
But anyways, so he would come out to shows, and I became friendly with him. And I remember one time I said to him, I think he was shocked. Remember when he came out with his special tuning he was using on those Yamaha guitars?
No.
Oh, Frank, for one record, came out with like a whole new Frank Gambale tuning. And I said to him, that tuning seems suspect of somebody who can't do the Alan Holdsworth stretch chords. And he started laughing. He goes, you're damn right.
Yeah, he's got kind of stubby hands too.
Yeah, but he was getting these real wide range chords on this fucking tuning that he was using, and it's like it seems like a way to cheat the Holdsworth chords. Holdsworth's hand, I'll tell you who would have been good in the Holdsworth style is fucking James Taylor. You ever see that guy's hand? It looks like he can fret the 1st fret and the 12th fret with one hand. The guy's got the freakiest. Yeah, okay, so Jan, you remember the weird tuning? Michelangelo did it. So Jimmy Ray, I used to manage West LA Music up on Santa Monica Boulevard in Corinth, and Michelangelo Badio did a clinic for me up there, and then we went to eat afterwards. He was a super nice guy. He was telling me all the music that he listens to that he doesn't associate, or was like, please don't tell anybody I listen to this, because he was trying to keep what I would call a heavy metal persona. But we were talking about a style of guitar playing that the two of us really enjoy. And I emailed him a few times back and forth on some stuff. But he was a super nice guy, too.
And what was this style of music?
Well, I don't want to out him for being a country fan, so I won't say. What's that, Frank? I mean, Michael Anthony? Was it Michael Anthony? Michelangelo, whatever the hell his fucking name is. Talking of haircuts. Yeah. No, I won't say anything because he'll flip his wig. Thank you. You know what I would love? A show with Michelangelo Badio and Frank Gambale.
And they both go,
at the end of the show, but Frank starts off the show bald and Michelangelo has the wig on, and then at the end of the show, it's the other way around.
Wig off.
I know how to put asses in seats. That's how you get people to go.
Go get your mullet wig.
Yeah, I'm not going to see those guys. Number one, I don't like jazz, and I don't like Michelangelo Badio. They're going to be exchanging wigs at the end of the show. How much are tickets? I'm there.
Oh, shit.
But anyways, folks, this is called Dave's Guitar Channel. You'll never find a famous guitar player coming on my show because they're like, this fucking prick outs everybody. That's not what they're saying. They don't even know my show exists. They're like, oh, is that the guy that plays the Beetlejuice clip? That ain't fucking funny. But anyways, I saw Gambale. Okay, yeah. I mean, Michelangelo's a great technician. I mean, it's all fast stuff. I like to me, I think Brent Mason is a fantastic guitar player.
Oh yeah.
Just ridiculous. And on that level, like if you listen to piano players like guys like Matt Rawlings, there are guys that can walk in, read a piece of music or read a chart, and then play the song by you describing what you want to hear them play. And they play the song like they fucking wrote it. You know, and then it's like, oh, we could listen to Summer Nights by Van Halen on 5150 and all be just gay. Nobody gets the 5150 dig. The record stinks. Could you imagine what Eddie would do? If he had cancer in 1984, he would go down in history as the greatest. Could you imagine what he'd do if he lived? Actually, we knew no. You're not going to like this.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, John Mayer's a good player. Howard Roberts. I love the Howard Roberts 3 guitar by Gibson. The version 3 of his guitars is beautiful. Yeah, George McCurtain. Matt's the greatest. Matt's the absolute greatest. Just a genius on the piano. Yep. Yeah, Matteo's unbelievable. I don't know, Matteo Assati. Yeah, I mean, those guys are just, it's next level. I'll say this about Matteo Mancuso. He's one of the only few guitar players that uses, now I don't know what you call this thing, so I'm going to call it the wristband, that puts a wristband around the first fret so the strings don't ring. Oh, you know, Warren is my favorite, Compton. But he's the only guy that truly needs it because of the way he plays. I see other guys, they have that wristband on the first fret, and they're just playing normal guitar with a pick. And I'm like, dude, maybe you could just learn how to play the guitar and stop blocking the strings.
Well, Matteo doesn't use that all the time, though.
Daniel Larimore, please tell me you're not saying Bob Weir's a good guitar player. This kind of nonsense will not be tolerated. For the love of Christ. We're talking about Steve Wariner, Matteo Mancuso, Alan Holdsworth. You're going to throw in fucking Bob Weir?
No, I saw Matteo.
I know you got the Grateful Dead fucking logo on your thing. You're a deadhead. We get it. But don't try to push that he's good. Yeah, exactly, Tommy Tunes. Guthrie Govan is fantastic. There's so many great players. Jennifer just used her tampon. Who's Jennifer?
Oh, Jesus.
Jennifer Batten.
Jerry Reed?
Jennifer Batten.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's a great question. Who's a better player, Neil Young or Bob Weir?
Neil Young.
Have you guys ever seen the George Harrison interview about Neil Young?
No.
He was like playing at a session with him, and somebody looked at George and he's like, "That ain't me." And they were like, "Oh, you don't like the way he plays?" And he's like, "He's terrible." George Harrison is just calling out Neil Young, saying he can't play a lick. It's fucking great. Exactly, the one who dies first. Which is why, Tommy Tunes, which is why I hope Michael Anthony's the last to die in the Van Halen band. Because that'll be just. That'll be just. Let's put it to you this way. Someone asked me if I think Alex Van Halen is a dick. When Van Halen, the band, all decided that Michael Anthony shouldn't be a full member of the band and that he should take a pay cut after like 1984 came out. And then when Sammy joined, Sammy put a stop to it. He's like, that's not right, guys. Anybody in the band at that point, so you got David, Alex, and Eddie, those are dickheads. The guy's been with you since you were fucking schlepping gear at parties stinking of beer. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's a scumbag thing to do. And I watched the thing where Sammy was like, yeah, I was having no part of that. Right, because Sammy's a fucking guy. You're out there on the road together. You're all pulling your weight. Now, if Eddie didn't like the fact that he didn't contribute to the songwriting, then don't give him writing credit. But he gets a full cut as a member of the band. You can get your own publishing. The second you tell somebody, listen, we're going to take you off the publishing, fucking Michael Anthony would have been like, wait, I have a couple of tune ideas. All right, now you're bringing something to the table. But to say to the guy he's going to be like a hired gun in the band after he's been in the band for 8 years, fuck off. Oh, yeah, Henley's just a real piece of work. Exactly. Yeah, Ace quit. Yeah. That's a fact. I got to tell you, every time we play creativity, I'll take Kurt Childress. Creativity over virtuosity any day. That doesn't mean the virtuosity isn't important or isn't. I don't think it's as important. And I'll just say Jimmy Page over anybody. Yeah, it's just a stupid level of greed, though. It's like, you know, it's just a stupid level of greed. If you're writing the songs, sure, you deserve the writing credit and the money that comes from that. So you should ask for that. But in the beginning, they said, we're going to put our name on all four names. Okay, so do that. But then if you're going to change it, change it. But don't sit there and say, we're going to change, we're going to change you to a hired gun. Please. It's like Joe Walsh. You know, Joe Walsh is never a part of the Eagles. He was always a hired gun.
Really?
Yeah, he's not a member.
Huh.
When Don Felder, neither was the bass player.
But Joe Walsh is fucking phenomenal.
When Don Felder was kicked out of the band, the only two people that were part of the band left over was Fry and Felder. They wanted out because Felder had an equal control in the band, and the only way they could do it is to vote them out. I like Blow by Blow, but I don't know Wired enough. People always say Wired, but I don't know. I always like Blow by Blow. Do you think Phil Lesh is good? Does Lesh play for the Grateful Dead? Is that who Phil Lesh is? Nobody here knows anything about the Grateful Dead because we're fans of music here. Dude, I'm just busting balls, but I'm loving it. You're a good sport if you're still hanging around. Yeah, okay. I don't know anything about Phil Lesh. I watched the Grateful Dead play, and I'm like, this looks like School of Rock. It looks like young kids, their first day on the instrument. And they're like, oh, no, Bob Weir's been playing for 30 years. Playing what, golf? His guitar. Bernie Ledden and the Eagles was awesome. So the original Eagles band was Bernie Ledden, Randy Meisner, Henley, and Fry. Then they brought in Don Felder, and they made him a member. So now there's 5 people in the Eagles. Then Bernie Ledden quits, and they bring in Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh, hired gun, not an official member of the band. Then Randy Meisner quits. They bring in Timothy B. Schmidt, hired gun, not an official member of the band. And so that's only 3 people left, Felder, Fry, and Henley. And then they tried kicking them out of the band. Go back to the Stone Ponies. I just don't think they're a good band. I mean, if you like them, then you must have good weed, because I can't listen to that. There's only one band I think that's worse than the Dead, and that's Fish. And I'm totally kidding. They're both equally bad. Vince Gill is an awesome player. Steve Warner and Vince Gill on the song So No More Mr. Nice Guy. Fantastic. And the Eagles were great writers, all of them. I mean, Randy Meisner was a great singer. I prefer the Randy Meisner years, and I probably think if I had to pick my favorite album from the Eagles, it might be a tie between One of These Nights and Desperado. It's definitely not Hotel, although I like it. I just don't feel like it's an Eagles, it's like one snapshot of them. Whereas the Eagles over time, I don't know, those first 4 records to me is so good. Right? The first 4, Eagles, Desperado, On the Border, One of These Nights. Yeah, then Hotel and Long Run. Yeah, Certain Kind of Fool on Desperado was great. Marillion was not big in the States, but I'll tell you, Bingham was a huge Marillion fan. I like the way Krellbach just gets out of there. I can just remove him. I don't need his box. Where did Matt go? All right, when they come back, I will. I'll put them in. Yeah, Marillion, like I said, here's Matt. Marillion, they weren't that big. Who would go back and forth from Eagles to Poco? Timothy B. Schmidt, once he joined the Eagles, that was it. He was out of Poco. Randy Meisner may have went back.
What happened to Krell?
He shut off his camera. Cat. Yeah.
He's fucking his cat?
Yeah. Randy, I think he might have went back, but I mean, just as like a favor, not that he needed to. I love Randy Meisner's stuff. I like Poco. You want to hear a great Poco record? A good something? The opening track is in Settling Down. I love that track. Good. What the hell's the name of that record? Somebody who's a Poco fan, tell me the name of that record. A good something. Good Feeling to Know. Thank you, Kurt. Great record. Yeah, that's a good record. The opening track to me is like, you want to pick out a song that sounds like a song you've never heard from the 70s but screams the 70s. It's in Settling Down. That opening track on Good Feeling to Know. Really great. Atlanta Rhythm Section had they had some great songs. Imaginary Lover. They did the cover of Spooky. Was it the guitar player that came from that band from Classics 4? And then they also had So Into You, which was a great song. I love the singer, Hammond. What the hell's his? Ronnie Hammond? Is it? I always forget because anytime I say his name, I want to say Reggie Hammond. And I'm like, no, that's 48 Hours. Mm-hmm. There's a new sheriff in town. His name is Reggie Hammond.
Mitchell.
What about the Grateful Dead? Any Dead fans here? I'm kidding, folks. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I do like the song Alabama Getaway. I will say this. The Grateful Dead, Alabama Getaway is the only and Touch of Grey. Only because I was in high school or just out of high school when that came out. But Alabama Getaway is the only tune as a kid where I was like, oh, this is the Grateful Dead? this isn't terrible. And then I heard Truckin', and I ended up throwing a radio into a bathtub.
Truckin' ain't bad.
Oh, it's horrendous.
It's got a vibe to it.
The vibe is all I smell is sage and patchouli and an out-of-work person. Sometimes the lights get shining on me. Whatever the hell the lyric is, I just want to hang myself when I hear it. When I hear that song, all I think of is the Big Lebowski. The bum's lost, Lebowski. Get a job, sir.
Yeah, well,
is that a new Mesa? No, that's my Mesa combo. I've had it.
It's like your opinion, man.
My band used to jam to Eyes of the World. Eyes of the World by Rainbow? Because cannabis is legal now. No, that rectifier I've had for a while. I actually got it for like $500 or $600.
Rectum fryer.
And it had an issue with it where the guy told me it's intermittent. I took it to my amp repair guy, and he was like, yeah, that's because the jack, something to do with the effects loop. He fixed it in 2 seconds. And then I had him mod it and make it so it's the same as the same mod that my rectifier here has, which is it's a series effects loop instead of parallel, which parallel effects loop is the dumbest thing on an amp. Excellent, T-Boys. Why are the... so my band used to jam to Eyes of... The only Eyes of the World I know, isn't that a Rainbow song?
I don't know.
I like the Rainbow song. To the Eye, right, with Graham Bonnet. Isn't that one of his? Yeah, I don't know. Any Bob Dylan fans in the house? That's good, Rick. That's a good one. Dylan. It's so funny, too, because when you start talking about songs and people a friend of mine recently stumbled upon my YouTube channel, and he was learning a song. He stumbled on it because he was working on an Allman Brothers song, and we were talking about Rambling Man, and I said, there's a little tricky part in the middle there. I did a video, and he goes, I know, I watched it. That's how I learned it. And then he's like, after I found your channel, I started looking up songs. He's like, Me and Mrs. Jones. He starts going over all the songs that I didn't know he really liked, that Philly soul stuff that I like. And it was just funny because he was like, man, those fucking chords. And we were talking about what great songwriters it is. And it's like a Rolling Stone by Dylan is great. I'm gonna disagree. I'm going to say Like a Rolling Stone by Dylan is good. I would not call it great. Once upon a time, it says, no, it's good. It's not. It's far from great. Yeah, Hendrix did the better version of it. That's for sure. Thanks. Yeah. I love that song. Fool if you think it's over. Chris Rea. But yeah, so anyways, we were talking about songwriters and the songwriting back then, the guys that wrote for the Spinners, the Stylistics, all those guys. Were you ever into that stuff, Matt? Like, my love.
Not to the point where I had it in my collection, but it's very nostalgic for me because I remember hearing it on the radio when I was that age. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Only you. What is that song? You give no meaning. What was the name of that song? Betcha by God. No, that's not Betcha by Golly. Wow. What is the name of that song? My love. It's all in here. Only you give the meaning to. You are everything. Is that song?
Yeah, that was top 40 radio back in the day.
Oh, it was fucking so good. And the songwriting was so great. Those chord changes.
And there's other stuff like that too. Like I just was at a buddy's house last weekend, and there were, he had on random PlayStations, Seals and Crofts comes on, and it's like
that's what stuff we play all week. I play that every week. Yeah, I love Seals and Crofts. Oh, you make me feel brand new. Thank you, Cold Roses. Greg McCurtain says the Manhattans, by the way, who had 2 huge hits. Honey, you are my shining star was a hit in 1980. And Manhattans in 1974 did Let's Just Kiss and Say Goodbye. Now, here's something funny about the main ingredient. I'm watching TV, and I've told this story before. I'm in Santa Monica. I'm half asleep. and I'm watching a tribute to Soul Train. They show the main ingredient on TV, and they're interviewing the singer. And I'm like, why is Cuba Gooding Jr. playing the singer of this band? And I'm like, I'm getting to sleep. I have to get my glasses on. And so they're like, let's introduce all the guys in the band. And they go to the first guy, the singer, and they're like, what is your name? He goes, I'm Cuba Gooding. It's his fucking father.
Ah.
They are separated at birth. But if you listen to the song now, if you listen to, what's the song they do? Everybody plays the fool. You know the song? That's it. When you listen to the beginning, next time, tell me that's not Cuba Gooding Jr.'s voice when he goes, okay, so your heart's been broke. You sit around crying. Now you're thinking about dying. Well, before you do anything rash, dig this. Everybody, hey, I'm telling you, watch it on Soul Train, you'll laugh because he looks just like his kid.
Wow.
Anyways, the stylistics, all those songs were written by, that's Tom Bell. You Are Everything, Break Up to Make Up, Stone in Love with You. Betcha by Golly Wow is probably, Betcha by Golly Wow, I would probably say is my second favorite. I think it's You Make Me Feel Brand New is when he's like, when you can hear the compressor on a vocalist, when he's like, my love, and he's like so close to the mic and you can hear everything. It's so fucking cool. It's only you. It is such a naked recording. And then the other guy, only you give new me. Oh, it's fucking great. Johnny Nash's I Can See Clearly Now is another classic. That reminds me of being a kid. It's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. Oh, man. I love all these songs. That thin line between love and hate is not the Perishes. What the name is that? What's the name of that band? Yeah, the 70s soul, but you know what's more the 70s Philly soul that I like. Like, let the sideshow begin. Hurry, hurry. What's the name of that band? Blue Magic. Oh, the Persuaders. Thank you. That's it. What I say, the Perishes? I have the Perishes on my mind. The Persuaders did ya. It's a thin line. That reminds me, when I hear thin line between love and hate, you guys remember the commercials for it was a record. Oh, Teddy's the greatest. You know I love Teddy. What was the name of that record? Hey Love. These two black couples are in a house and they're playing records on an album, and he's like, hey love, the incomparable Linda Jones. Hypnotized, and then they play It's a Thin Line. And the guy was like, can I borrow this album? No, my brother. You must buy your own. Hey Love.
I remember that commercial.
Oh, it's the great. Well, guess who owned Hey Love? This guy. There it is. No, my brother, you got to buy your own. Oh, it was the greatest. It's the fucking greatest ad ever. And the album's fantastic. I not only have Hey Love, I have Hey Love Volume 1 and Volume 2. Teddy Pendergrass, Harold Melvin, and the Blue Notes. I mean, you listen to like some of the bass playing there. What the hell's his name now that I'm blanking on his name? Ronnie Baker. On you guys want to hear a fucking smoking bass line on Bad Luck by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. And the greatest is when that song cuts in, the beginning almost sounds like Mario Brothers. That reminds me of Mario Brothers, but he comes in, he's like, oh, wow. He's coming in and then he's like, and that bass line is just monstrous. Oh, it's way better than the Freedom Rock. Amy Winehouse, I never got. I'll tell you what my issue with Amy Winehouse is. She did the Zooton song, Valerie. And you can't go to any place where some girl snap-ahead is singing Valerie. And it's like, listen, it's not that great of a song. Cut the shit. It's not a great song. I'm not going to go to rehab. Well, here's a funny story about that song. You died. Funny story. We do that all the time at AM station gigs when here's a song by Badfinger. Funny story about the band. Then we play Bob Welch, Sentimental Lady. Here's a funny Bob Welch story. He committed suicide. Took a bullet. It's always, every time we say funny story, we're going to bring up the worst death.
Hey guys, I'm going to skip out. I got to get up at 5 tomorrow.
All right.
All right, man.
Oh,
very good.
Take care, everyone.
Dave, did you see the private chat?
I saw it. It said a video, but is that the commercial?
That's your whole Halo. I just watched it. No, my brother, you got to buy your own.
I love that ad. I love every song on that album. That's
that commercial is almost, it's a 1 minute and 59 second song. Can you imagine that? Nowadays they wouldn't even put that on.
That's a long fucking
there was also a short version too. There was a shorter version. The great thing about that, and I think there's a song on that album called Let's Fall in Love by Peaches and Herb. And that was one of my favorite songs from back then. It's so funny because when I remember as a kid watching that commercial going, well, I guess I'm his brother. I gots to go get that record. Hey Love. Who did Hey Love too? Who was that song? Is that the Hey Love?
Let me see.
The originals? It's great. The two it's so fucking great. There's an interview I have here with somebody who doesn't like that record. Hold on, let me put it on.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
An Herb, Love on a Two-Way Street, The Moments, In the Rain, The Dramatics.
Oh, Dramatic. In the Rain.
Oh Girl by the Chai Lights.
Shy Lights, yeah. Oh, that guy wrote, Eugene Record, who wrote that song and was in the band, he wrote a lot of great songs.
Bet You By Golly. Wow, the stylistics.
Absolutely. You name the song, I'll try to name the band.
All right. Dedicated to the one I love.
This is dedicated. Oh, it's a girl. Who is it?
It says
it's a group.
The Temprees.
Okay, yeah.
La La Means I Love You.
That's the Delphonics.
Court of Love.
I don't know that one.
The Unifics.
You're one for 3 days.
And now we have Cowboys to Girls.
Nope, too early.
There's
a lot of stuff on there I didn't know.
Baby,
The Intruders.
I'm For Real.
Who was that?
The original.
Doing terrible. Oh, the original.
You only got one, Dave.
Now we have
well, this is a lot earlier than what I usually listen to. Go on.
Thin Line Between Love and Hate.
That's the Persuaders.
That's the Persuaders. Leaving Me.
The incomparable Linda Jones. That's not Linda Jones. Who
No,
was that?
The Independents.
Yeah, didn't know
Then
it.
we have Stay in My Corner.
Is this volume 1?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know a lot of this. Go ahead.
It scrolled by. I got to get back. Stay in My Corner is by the Dells, and then you got to that, and many, many more. But Dave, Operators are standing by. 1998 plus shipping and handling.
Oh, okay. So that was like not the record by record because I think there's a lot more that I knew that you didn't mention. Jables, what's happening?
Oh, just got off the old freeway. I was in the
Nice.
office in Orange County today, so took my hour and 20-minute drive home.
Nice up the 405.
Oof. Yeah, it was a bit rough, but
Yeah.
here we are, pants free, enjoying life with a fine cup of water with lemon,
There you go.
cool and crisp like a mountain spring.
I've got a
Plimsolls,
Sifo, lemon and lime.
The Plimsolls, what's his name? Peter Case. I love that band. I saw them live in 1995, opened for the Tubes, who then opened for Cheap Trick in a free show. I think there is some Hey Love still sitting in a warehouse, and that's the crime. But the funny thing is there was like a lot of B cuts they put on of like extras from the bands because they didn't have enough hits. Like how many originals did you name? I mean, the originals had a song. Who did the song "I Always Love My Mama"? Was that the originals? No, that's later. Who the hell
That
did
was
that
the
one?
new originals.
Who, guys, and if you know in the chat, who did the song "I Always Love My Mama"? If you're into Philly soul, you know the song I'm talking about.
All right, I know who it is because I looked it up, but
Who is it?
The Intruders.
The Intruders, right. Okay, I knew it was one of the bands he mentioned. That was their big hit, not whatever they put on the Hey Love record. That was a great song. Oh, the OJs were also Philly soul. Oh, and somebody was asking earlier about Chicago music. You've been out to Chicago music, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's a great store, huh?
Yeah, it's one of the best I've ever been to.
Right.
The Midwest has really, really good guitar stores because real estate's cheap. So you get Chicago Music Exchange, Dave's Guitars in Wisconsin and La Crosse, Wisconsin.
They're ridiculous.
That's probably the best one I've ever been to.
Really?
Yeah, I think
did you
that's
go to his
better. I
private
think it's better than
collection,
Chicago
too?
Music.
And you've seen his private collection?
Yeah, because it's upstairs in the same building. It's what makes it incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you've been there?
No, but I used to follow his shit because when that some guy died and gave him a guitar that was under his bed, his wife brought it in, and it was that Tahitian coral that Fender claims they never made.
Oh, okay.
So they took the neck off, and Fender looked up the code, and they were like, that color is a very limited color called Tahitian coral. And so they ended up making like a bunch of guitars for him for that, and that you can get a custom shop version.
Okay.
Because it was like for years, people kept saying they had a coral Strat at one point, and Fender kept saying, no, that had to be Fiesta Red. And so that Dave has 2 locations, Hannibal says.
Yeah, he's got one in Milwaukee area now that it's not the same. The La Crosse location has the upstairs, and that's what you need to see.
There were two music stores that look like Pat Benatar in this school.
The thing that's spectacular about that upstairs is when you go up the stairs, the way he has it curated is you literally will see a wall of Strats, and it starts in 54.
Right.
And he pairs it. There's an amplifier right underneath it that's paired from the same year.
Nice.
So it's like 54, 55, and then it just keeps going all the way up. And then you go to a different wall where he's got 335s all doing the same thing, and SGs all doing the same thing. And he has all of the majors that you can think of. It's Les Pauls, Strats, Tellys, SGs, 335s. And I don't recall how much more he had, but that was spectacular enough. You see that and you're just like, this is millions upon millions of dollars worth of inventory up here.
Right.
And it was really cool. Really, really cool. So, yeah, Chicago music, it does not have that sort of a thing. They've got a collection of vintage stuff that you can go and buy, but it's not a museum. It's just not the same thing.
Right. But it's still a nice shop as far as the store goes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Top 10 in the country for sure.
Yeah.
Motor City Guitar in Detroit's amazing too. It's not as nice on the inside. Have
you been to Eddie's?
Yeah.
What do you think of Eddie's?
It's like a teeny tiny Chicago Music Exchange.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's much smaller. But the Detroit, what's it called? Motor City Guitar? Motor City Guitar is cool because it looks more grimy and more like an old school guitar shop.
Right.
But it's not curated. But you go in there and they have everything cool you could ever imagine. And what's even cooler about it is Marty has always had kind of a cool rock and roll taste. So when you go in there, you can find a ton of stuff that you just won't see everywhere else. So like you want an old Steve Vai gem. I don't know why you would, but he's got 5 of them, I'm sure. And then you want any number of like amplifiers with names on them that's not Marshall, Fender, or Vox, and he's got all of it. He was the first place that I ever went and saw things like VHTs.
Who is Steve Albini? Apparently he died. Funny story about
Steve Albini is a really well-known producer. He used to come into West LA Music and go, "Yo, I'm a producer."
Seriously?
No, that's just a joke about every single customer that would buy M boxes.
Of course. M boxes. Oh God.
No, Steve Albini did your favorite band, the Pixies. So he did the Pixies. He did Nirvana. Nirvana. In Utero, he did that record.
Oh, funny story about him. He died.
Steve Albini.
And he'll be here next week.
Jan says he got a 61 Fiesta Red from Chicago Music Exchange.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what he produced. We're gonna give you. Oh my God.
How did he die?
Heart attack. He wasn't listening to your channel and getting your diet advice.
No, he wasn't. Instead, he was listening to Olivia Newton-John singing her big hit song from 1982. You're giving me a heart attack.
A heart attack.
Remember how horrible that fucking song was?
What? Who's the one that did the heart attack? What was
you
that?
You want to know by now? That's Moving Out, Anthony's song by Billy Joel.
Oh, Billy Joel, right.
First song on The Stranger, 1977. Anthony works at the grocery store, saving his pennies for someday.
So, okay, let's see. The well-known records Steve Albini did. I don't know if you know Surfer Rosa from the Pixies. I know that one. I'm not a Pixies fan.
Is that Here Comes Your Man?
I don't know. It doesn't have track
Here
listing.
comes your man. Here comes your man.
He did The Breeders, if you remember that.
Yeah, that was wasn't that an offshoot of the Pixies?
Oh, yeah, I think it was. You're right.
Yeah, and Frank Black went his way.
Yeah. Let's see.
I saw Frank Black live. Let me tell you, it's up there for one of the worst shows I've ever seen.
Boy, this guy did a lot of really bad records. He did Helmet, Meantime.
Ooh, I love that record. Your contribution goes unnoticed, son. Remember that song, Unsung?
Yeah.
That's my
terrible guitar sound.
Oh, you thought so? I liked it.
Yeah.
It was
that's funny. I'm looking at this guy's entire list of credits, and for a name I recognize, he's done nothing but stuff I've never heard of before.
Such as
Bryce Glace, Breadwinner, Souls, Lizard Train.
Oh, he did Lizard Train.
What? Yeah, I'm scouring this list looking for something other than the biggest one I found so far is In Utero from Nirvana. Clearly that one's huge.
That was the second one, right? Or the third one. That was the one that had an Heart-Shaped Box, I think, is on that record.
Yeah, the second major label release, but yeah, it's the third one, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, he did Fred Schneider's Just Fred solo record.
If you see a faded sign on the side of the road that says $15 for a hand job.
Oh, you love Fred Schneider. Oh man, Veruca.
I love that he's giving $15 handy J's off the side of the road.
Oh my god! And next week.
Next week, by the way, folks, Fred Schneider will be here. Everybody,
and now play the clip. The clip of the.
Actually, we have an interview we saw on him last week. He was on. Here's an interview with Fred Schneider.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
I remember as a kid, and he comes out and he's like, "She comes from Planet Claire," and I'm like, "Oh, these guys are great. Very gay, but great.
Hanging around."
Ooh. I just found another one that I like. He did Swagger from Flogging Molly. That's cool. That's pretty cool, I guess. He did Drunken Lullabies from Flogging Molly. So apparently he did some of their stuff.
How old was he that he died of a heart attack?
61 years young.
61 years old. I just want people to realize this when they sit there and say, back in the 1800s, they weren't living that long. Meanwhile, the average age is the same. But the number was brought down by like infant deaths. But here's a 61-year-old guy dying of a heart attack.
He did a lot.
Just because he's a music
records,
producer, he didn't do a lot of coke.
Any of them. God damn.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. All right, so he's iconic to somebody.
But I've never listened to a record where I was like, oh my God, this thing sounds amazing. Who is it? Oh, it's this guy. Because every record you named, I'm like, okay, they're okay. I mean, there's nothing that stands out.
Yeah, it's just weird. I'm just sort of surprised I don't know any of this crap.
You know, who produced the Jellyfish record? Did they produce their second record by themselves? Because that's a fantastic produced record.
The Jellyfish?
It's called Spilt Milk.
Let's see.
I don't know who produced it. But what do you think of Terry Date's production?
It's okay.
Like the Pantera stuff.
Well, he did Pantera. He did Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger.
Mm-hmm.
He did 24/7 Spies, Strength in Numbers.
It's got to be away.
That's what exactly.
Producer for this Jellyfish record is it actually says 4 different people. It's probably the band. I don't know these people.
Is Roger Manning one of them?
Roger Manning, Andy Sturmer.
Yeah, that's the band.
Jack Joseph Puig, and Albie
Shore.
Albie Galutin. I'll be avoiding Galutin. What?
Oh, Albie Galutin's there?
Yeah.
Isn't that the guy that worked with the Bee Gees? He's the engineer, I bet.
Oh yeah, you're right. Bee Gees producer.
What's that?
Yeah. His name is associated with the Bee Gees.
Can't fucking get it past me. You know why? Because those fucking records sound amazing.
You love Albie Galutin.
I do love him. You're damn straight. Now I know why that record sounds so good. He was probably the engineer making sure everything sounded fucking great. It's the same thing like, are you guys familiar with the album Queen the Game?
Yeah, of course.
Matt?
Not really.
Another One Bites the Dust, the song The Game, Crazy Little Thing Called Love, all produced by a guy named Reinhold Mack. After that record, he went and did a record called Don't Say No by Billy Squier.
Ooh.
Reinhold Mack is awesome. And then you find out he was the engineer on all the fucking brilliant ELO records. And it's like, yeah, well, Jeff Lynne is sitting there going, yeah, let's do this. This guy's making everything sound fucking gold.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, the
Reinhold Mack. Never heard of him.
Ice fan. What else did he do? You'll see. He's done a lot.
Dave, do you still have your Hey Love album?
I do.
Queen, ELO, Stones, Zeppelin, Squire, Sabbath, Deep Purple, and many more.
$150 on eBay.
Wow. Hey, love. I also have it in MP3 if you want me to send you a copy of the record.
You could probably just make a playlist out of it on. I bet someone already has a playlist of it on Spotify. Speaking of lists, I have a couple of interesting lists.
Ooh, yes.
One that stood out because I said Dave would like this. It sounds like whenever something's eclectic, I said this is something Dave might like. 10 best produced rock albums.
Absolutely. Hold on one sec. Greg McCurtain says Joe Walsh played on Andy Gibbs hits. I know he played on at least 2 because it was on the same record. It might be the Shadow Dancing album, but yes, he did.
Yeah, but he wasn't a part of the band. They wouldn't let him. He was just a hired.
Right. He was just a hired. He wouldn't be part of the Andy Gibb. He wasn't going to be. Plus, nobody got close to Andy Gibb with Madam. Madam was very protective. You can see that when you watch her and him on Solid Gold.
Hanoi Bomb's asking me if I have any stories about Reinhold Bogner.
Yeah.
I have one. I was at the NAMM show in, I'd like to say 2016, when I watched Reinhold Bogner have security escort him out of the Marriott bar because I guess he got caught doing blow on the in the bathroom of the Marriott bar. And so there goes Reinhold Bogner getting carried out.
Yeah, he's great. He's out of his mind. I have a million.
Sure.
I mean, I've talked to him a few times. Actually, I've talked to him about coming on the show.
He's a very nice guy, and he's
super
just
nice
out of
guy.
his mind. Yeah,
crazy.
He likes cocaine.
That's shit crazy. I played at his booth one time.
Cocaine.
What's that guy's name?
played at
Is it something the clown?
Oh, that's Dr. Roxo.
That's right.
2012, I played in his booth. And I was with somebody else. I don't want to say who they are. And he was like, Dave, keep playing. So I was playing. He was getting a little bit of a crowd around. And I was trying out that Mephisto amp that just came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to a mutual buddy of me and John's, I won't say who it is because there's reasons. But anyways, he starts playing. And I think he's a pretty good player. And Reinhold just has the look of, what the fuck have you done? Get him off that amp and get back. So my buddy gives me the guitar back and goes, I got to go back to Andy's booth.
Andy.
That's a little, Fuchs. That's just a little tip for you, but keep it quiet.
Oh, fair enough.
So he goes, I got to go back to Andy's booth. So then I'm like, all right. So then Reinhold goes, okay, now you play. And he looks at my friend and goes, don't hurry back.
I do cocaine.
Meanwhile, he was wearing the fucking Viking with the horns hat.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
That's face bones.
Good thing it wasn't the Saran wrap year.
Yeah. Oh, no. He was wearing the matching slippers to he was out of his mind.
Yeah.
Super, super nice guy, though. I liked all the guys that worked for him. Shimmy. Remember Shimmy?
No, but I know Jorg really well.
Yeah, Jorg and Shimmy.
He's the co-owner.
Yeah. Oh, he's a great guy.
I saw Jorg at the King's X concert in like 2015 or 16 again. This was a Redondo Beach Pier or something. They were playing a show there. I'm like, what are you doing here? I don't think you know, but I love these guys. Okay. That's my.
Yeah, remember when we had Anton O'Parin play? Reinhold came down to lend him an amp.
Did he? I don't remember that. Oh, okay.
The outdoor show.
Yeah. Okay. I don't remember that, but okay.
The indoor show, he came in and played the Marshall, the TSL.
Vintage, was it the DSL or the Vintage Modern or something?
No, it was a TSL.
Oh, okay.
It was the trip. And I'll never forget. Bingham's like, you want to play that amp? That amp sucks. The kid starts playing his ass off on it. We're looking at each other going, this fucking guy makes anything sound good. We are idiots.
Yeah, he was incredible.
Yeah, but I remember it was that triple Super League because you and I hated that amp.
Our buddy Howie.
60.
Our buddy Howie was like Will Ferrell in Step Brothers when he had to sing. He's like, I'm up here on the stage trying to play, but there's not good acoustics and the air pressure's a little off. And I'm just kidding. But do you remember that scene in Step Brothers?
Yeah.
This is not an environment
right
for good acoustics. I just remember how he being miffed at that whole thing because, it was all about Anton.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Howie was there.
Yeah, he opened. He was like the opener.
What did he open with?
I remember he was not happy.
Was it the outdoor thing we had?
Yeah.
God.
So Howie opened for Anton.
Yeah.
Was Howie playing instrumental
music? Seasoned, amazing guitar player. And then this fucking 12-year-old comes on stage right after.
Now, was Howie with a band? Or was he up there by himself? I don't remember.
He just had tracks, I think.
Oh, okay.
And then Anton melted his face off.
Now, at this point, Anton's like 13 years old, going on 14, and he's pudgy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
If you see him now, he's tall and skinny, and he speaks English. He wasn't even speaking a lick of English then.
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
His brother always had to speak for him, and his brother, and it's so funny because the father was short, and I would just imagine that Anton would stay short, but Anton looks like he's tall like his brother.
No, the Russians, when they saw how good he was at playing guitar, they started giving him the Ivan Drago steroid treatment.
That's right.
Get him all ripped up. They're like, he will be the next superstar.
Yeah. No, I'll reach out to Reinhold again. That'd be fun to have him on. All right, let's hear we have a list of 10 of the best produced rock albums.
Classic rock albums.
All right, that'll be interesting because best produced classic rock. I'm definitely going to have some opinions about this.
Why don't you reach out to Anton there, Dave? Have him come on the show.
Well, Anton's in Russia. I've talked to him a few times.
Mm-hmm.
We're friends on Facebook, and I messaged him, and we talked, and his English is good now, which is what's great, you know. And he puts out two he has a Russian YouTube channel and an English one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just read this.
Because your Russian stinks.
Yeah, on the Russian one, he's like, on the Russian one, he's like, "Death to America."
All right. Can I take a crack at how are we doing this list? Is Joe just running down? Or are we?
Yeah, Joe's going to.
What?
I think Joe's going to start with number 10.
Yeah.
Name the band, and then let's decide what the best produced album by that band is.
All right, that's a good one. It's a 4-paragraph lead-in, so I'll just read the last paragraph. Whether it's prog rock masterpiece or just a decent piece of rock and roll, those behind the board help create a kaleidoscope of sound whenever you put on the headphones, almost like you're dipped into a different sonic world when you're listening. Rock and roll might be based on imperfections, but sometimes you end up making the perfect sound without even realizing it. And now here are the 10 best produced rock albums. Number 10.
Let me just say this. Boston better not be better than 5. Okay, we can go on now.
Okay, as I was about to say, number 10 kind of gives it away, and it's Boston with Boston.
Perfect.
You can't, you can't. I couldn't hide that.
I think Don't Look Back's the better. I'm kidding.
Okay, coming in at number 9.
It's a great record.
Coming in at number 9 is an album by Tom Petty.
Okay.
Damn the Torpedoes.
That's definitely his best album, but I don't know.
Wildflowers.
John got it.
Yeah.
What's on Wildflowers is not better than like.
You know why it's Wildflowers? Because douchebags make these lists, and I've heard numbers of people before say, "Oh, that album sounds great."
I will say one thing about this list on this website. They'll actually put underneath a Spotify list of the entire album. So, and they have videos for every song for some of the other lists. So, okay. Well, this one's going to kind of give it away. Number 8 is Guns N' Roses. What album?
They only have one.
No,
they
it's
have
not
more than
Appetite.
one.
It's not. Use Your Illusion 2 is a much better produced record.
I bet you.
I mean, I like the record as much, but it sounds better.
It's Appetite.
John, you won that bet.
No, I know it's going to be Appetite because it's a fit, but it's not a good produced record.
Okay.
Who produced that record, by the way?
Clink.
Oh, that's right. They wanted it to be the guy from what's his face? From Nazareth, right? The guitar player for Nazareth was the one they wanted, and he was like, I think he did a demo or two for them. All right, moving on.
Okay, coming in at number 7.
Bullshit. By the way, let me just say right now, that doesn't make my top 100.
I don't know that some of these are even considered classic rock when you think about it.
I don't consider that a good produced record.
I thought they were going to be talking about bands from the 70s, you know. Okay, coming in at number 7 is an album by Metallica.
Master.
Certainly would have to be the self-titled album.
Yeah, it's going to be the
Black Album. Yeah.
But the Black Album is probably their best produced album. Not their best album, but definitely their best produced.
Yeah.
Right.
Coming in at number 6 is an album by Nirvana.
No.
Really?
These albums are not produced well.
Well, you know it's going to be
in honor of Steve Albini. Is it In Utero?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, it has to be Nevermind then.
Okay, coming in at number 5 is an album by Steely Dan.
Asia, not even a question. That should be number 1.
Okay.
There is no album on this list that's going to be produced better than Asia. Let me just say that.
No. This
Gary
next
Katz
album
is the best.
This next album is a very popular album. Coming in at number 4 is an album by Pink Floyd.
Well, the best produced album by Pink Floyd, in my opinion, is Animals. If you say it's The Wall and Bob Ezrin, I am going to Rochambeau the hell of this list creator.
It's not The Wall.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Actually, there is no dark side. It's all dark. Yes, Dark Side of the Moon.
I assume. Now, what was all the stories about the recording of that record was what they were using, like elevator shafts and all sorts of shit to make crazy
I don't know.
sounds.
It was Alan Parsons who was he the engineer or the
LSD.
producer?
Did you say it was LSD?
Yeah, I said they were using LSD.
Anybody? Hold on. Nobody here thinks that Dark Side of the Moon is produced better than Steely Dan Asia, do they?
No.
Asia is, you can hear, it's ridiculous.
Take your big black cow
And get out of here. Oh, it's fucking gorgeous. First of all, I don't even think it's better. I don't think Dark Side of the Moon is better than fucking All in All by Earth, Wind & Fire, which sadly won't be on this list. Go on.
Coming in at number 3 is an album by the Beach Boys.
Fuck off is my answer. It's going to be Pet Sounds, and it stinks.
Yeah, it's Pet
The album
Sounds.
sucks. By the way, if any of you people like the album Pet Sounds, please leave my channel.
Why is that album on so many of our lists?
It sucks. It's got 3 songs on it. The rest is filler, and the production stinks. What year is that? Is that 66 or 67? What year is that?
I don't know. It doesn't say the year.
Revolver is a better sounding album from 66. Rubber Soul's a better sounding album from 65.
I like that song from Pet Sounds. It goes,
Released on
close my eyes, much to my surprise, I'm only half the size that I used to be.
That's Walk Harder, which I love.
It was released on May 16th, 1966.
66. Okay, so that's the year of Revolver. Give me a break. Revolver, but if Sgt. Pepper is on this fucking list, I'm gonna go apeshit.
Well, coming in at number 2 is an album by the Beatles.
It's Sgt. Pepper, isn't it?
No.
Prepare for ape shit.
It's not Sgt. Pepper.
No, so you don't have to rush
then
it.
it's Abbey Road.
Abbey Road.
Gotta be Abbey Road.
Well, Abbey Road's a better produced album.
Everybody talks
What was
about
the name on the jar? Abbey. Abbey who? Abbey Normal.
Right.
Coming in at number 1 is an album by Fleetwood Mac.
It's not Rumors.
It's Rumors.
I know it's Rumors, but it's not a better sounding album.
It's not. I know it is, but it's not.
No, it's not a better sounding album. It's 77, also the same year. And let's put it this way. Rumors came out in 77. Asia came out in 77. Asia's produced better. All in All from Earth, Wind & Fire, 77. Also better. ELO. What's the album that came out 76 and then 78? So what's the double album called? Out of the Blue? Better produced album than Fleetwood Mac. Now, Fleetwood Mac out Rumors is a fantastic record. Is it better than the production on Ricky Lee Jones' solo album? I don't think so. It's a good recording. It's not the best. It's not the best.
Well, here's a list I thought had potential, but it's called, listen to that. I said Dave would like this. 10 weirdest chords to be used in pop songs, but they don't tell you the chords used in the song.
No, then. Forget that.
No,
Let me just say
fuck
this.
that.
That had Guns N' Roses. There was like 4 or 5 albums in that list that I can name 20 albums that are produced fantastic.
Yeah, always.
I mean, Rumors is a good sounding record, but so is Mirage. And actually, the Fleetwood Mac album, the one before Rumors, what was that guy's name that did that? What was his name that produced that album? Don't tell me. He produced Working Class Dog for Rick Springfield.
Like I know.
Why am I blanking on his name? Is it Ken something? I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. Somebody tell me who did Working Class Dog. Whoever that producer is, that's who's produced Fleetwood Mac's first album with Stevie Nicks. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. I'm having a brain aneurysm here, folks. Funny story.
Rick Springfield, or are you looking for the producer?
Producer. Oh, I know what it
Olsen?
is now. It just came to me. Keith Olsen. You say Keith Olsen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Keith Olsen. He produced the Fleetwood Mac first record
Oh, okay.
with Stevie Nicks, which is a great.
Yeah,
Never mind the bollocks.
He looks very British.
Oh yeah,
But
I
it
have
says
two on
he's
the
an
list.
American record producer, but he doesn't look
yeah.
like
I
it.
think he was.
Oh, He Be Dead, by the way.
Funny story about Keith Olsen. How'd he
He Be
die?
Dead. Yeah. He Be Dead 4 years now.
How'd he die? COVID? Heart attack?
Great question. Don't know.
Choked to death on vomit, but they couldn't prove it was his vomit.
Exactly.
They don't have a forensic for that. I got two more lists. They're interesting.
Hard to dust
Tell
for
me-
vomit.
Hard to. Tell me what you want first. I have fretboard fumbles, the 10 worst guitar solos of all time. And I have this is a really nice list. Melodically perfect, 10 songs that are impossible to hate.
Ooh.
Oh, I'd love to hear those.
And I have to say, on that list, 8 out of 10, I was like, I really love that song. But there
I'd
was
love to hear
one
that
that I
list.
was like, who the fuck is that? And
That's a
and
good list.
they have the video. I started playing it. I'm like, I punched this guy in the fucking jaw. So which one first?
that one first. The songs
Okay.
you can't hate.
Melodically perfect. 10 songs that are impossible to hate. Do I tell you the name of the band and you guess the song?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Number 10, a song by Fleetwood Mac.
Rhiannon.
No.
Wait,
Don't
Dreams? I don't
stop
know.
thinking about tomorrow.
that's probably it.
What's that
I
song?
hate that song. No, I hate it.
It's all
Don't
poppy
Stop,
and
I hate.
upbeat. I don't know. What's the name of that song? Don't stop thinking
Stop.
about tomorrow.
No, the name of
Or-
the song is called Landslide.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Landslide?
I'm not a
Oh,
huge fan of
oh.
Landslide. I got to be honest with you. Took my love and I took it down. I actually don't like that song.
That's
This
the one
was
where
easy for
Stevie
me to-
Nicks really shows how much she sounds like a goat.
And I caught my reflection in the. Oh, and you know what? Is when Billy Corgan does it, it's even worse.
Or South Park.
Stevie Nicks
Coming in
before,
at-
that's great.
Coming in at number 9, there's really no point to guess because when you think of this artist, there's only one song you think of. It's a song by Tracy Chapman.
oh, jeez.
Fast car.
Yeah, but I love that song.
I hate
Really,
do?
Fast Car?
I love that song.
I think Fast Car has a good melody, but it just never fucking stops. It's like
Never goes
Yeah.
anywhere. It's boring as hell. I hate that song.
Yeah, it's too long.
You've got
for
a
what
fast. It sounds like she's reading it like.
it. Yeah.
You've
You
got
got
a
a
fast
fast
car. I decided. Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah.
Who really
Coming
I'll
in
go
at
with
number
you.
8 is a song by Billy Joel, and there's a lot to choose from. So good luck.
Oh, Jesus. It's probably
I should just go to this one Billy Joel song I don't like.
Piano
Still
Man.
rock
I
and
like
roll
your
to me.
strategy. I like
Yeah.
your strategy.
Dave, you're wrong.
It's
Whoever
Piano
said
Man.
Piano Man was right.
Yeah,
We
Oh, I hate
didn't
that one
start
too.
the
I could
fire.
have wanted Piano Man. I hate Piano Man.
I hate it.
Okay. But
But I
this
know
list says
every
that-
drunk motherfucker at the end of the night in a bar wants to fucking sing that song.
Oh,
It song stinks.
coming
He
in at
hates
num-
it too, by the way.
Oh,
It's a song
sure.
that's impossible to hate. Billy Joel hates that song.
Coming in at number 7 is a song by ELO.
Ooh.
It's got to be the best. Dun, 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 the sun is shining in the sky. Mr. Blue Sky.
Correct.
It's the greatest song they ever did.
Coming in at number 6 is a song by Prince.
It should be
Purple
want to
Rain.
be want
It's
to be
going to
your
be
lover.
1999.
No, it can't be that because I hate
My
that song.
favorite Prince song is Raspberry Beret. It's not that.
And it's not 1999.
No, I
How
do
did
like
Weird
that
Al
song
never
too.
do a song called Raspberry Puree?
How about let's
that was-
pretend we're married?
How about Diamonds and Pearls?
I
I got nothing.
No, it's got to be a big hit
Let's
song.
Get
It's probably
Crazy.
gonna Let's Go Crazy, which I can't
It's
stand.
kind of
No,
the
it's
one
big
that
Purple Rain.
Purple Rain. I was just
Horrible
about to give
song.
you a hint.
I fucking
How
said
is that
Purple
one?
Rain right
I
at the
can't
beginning of
listen
this.
to that.
How is that one hard for anyone to hate? That's just.
It's easy to hate. It's faithfully with terrible melody.
Coming in at number 5 is a song that I also love. So if you want to hate it, go ahead. But it's a song by The Cure.
Ooh,
Pictures of You.
Fascination Street's the greatest.
Well, that's a good one.
Pictures of You. No?
It's going to be Friday. I'm in love, and
It is Friday. I'm in love.
I hate that. I only had to do is name the one Cure song I don't like.
I like from that same record. I like Mint Car.
That's not on that record,
isn't it?
No, that's the record after.
Friday
That's
I'm
on
in Love and Mint Car are different records. I thought that was the same record.
Friday I'm in Love is on the album called Wish.
Oh, okay.
The other one is he's driving the little car. What's the hell's the name of that? What's the name of that album?
So happy I could scream.
That's a good Robert Smith. In my Instagram, this clip came up with this girl's like, Robert Smith from The Cure. You guys just got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Are you excited? And he goes, apparently not as excited as you. I'm like, he's great.
Coming in at number 4 is a song by Outkast.
Oh, it's at.
Get a Job?
I wouldn't know the name of it at all, but I know
this
song.
Outkast is Hey Ya.
Hey Ya. Yeah. Okay. Coming in at number 3 is a song by Queen.
Another one bites the dust.
No.
We Will Rock You.
Champions.
No.
We
Champions.
are the champions.
No.
You're my best friend.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Yes.
Ooh. It is hard to hate Bohemian Rhapsody. Thank you, Wayne's World.
Coming
number
in at
3.
number 2. That was 3. Coming in at number 2, I'm like, I've never heard. What the fuck is this? So before, when you guys were talking, I started watching the video. I'm like, I'll fucking kill someone about this. It's a song by a group called The Killers.
Oh,
sure.
Bright Side.
Like Jesus.
I've never heard the song.
Oh, that's
before.
a great song. When You Were Young.
Is it Mr. Brightside?
It's Mr. Brightside. Fuck them.
Yeah, I don't care for that song either.
Don't like it at all.
Now here's one that's going to be fucking hard to guess. It's one by the Beatles at number 1.
A song by the Beatles that is impossible to hate.
Just like a billion.
Obla di obla da.
Is it
No,
Hey
not
Dude?
that. No.
Let It Be.
No.
No, Let It Be I hate. I should have guessed Let It Be. You're right. I hate that
Dave,
song.
names. All right, hey, let's do it like this. Dave, name songs that you don't like or not as enthused about.
By the Beatles.
By the Beatles.
Okay, hold on. I do hate the one we just said there. Let It Be. I hate Let It Be. I hate a lot of songs on
I mean,
that
as
record.
far as the Beatles songs go, I would say this is kind of like it's a good one, but it's
Love
much
Me
better.
Do.
No.
Blackbird?
No. That's a good song though.
I have no problem with Blackbird.
I saw her standing there.
Oh, I hate that one.
No.
That's one of the ones I hate. Anything that just hammers on a C7 chord, I'm like, fuck off.
Oh man, you're killing us over here with this one. Mean
Is it
Mr.
a
Mustard.
Lennon or a McCartney song, or do you not know?
It's actually, I think, a Harrison song.
Oh, now you made it easy. Love It, Love You Too.
No.
While my guitar gently
Within You,
weeps?
Without You.
No.
Oh, this is a song you can't not like. It's the fucking Here Comes the Sun.
Here Comes the Sun.
Uh,
Okay. That was it for that list.
All right.
Yeah, Here Comes the Sun's not bad.
No, it's
I've got to give it to
okay.
Harrison. He had about 4 songs in the Beatles that I can tolerate. Here Comes the Sun's one of them.
10 bands who hated being in bands. Wow.
Ooh. 10 bands? Each member hated being in bands?
Some of the best bands in music history have been the ones that were vicious towards one another in some form. There is absolutely no excuse for toxic behavior, but something about how disdain and even hatred manifest seems like a vital ingredient in creating world-class music.
well, that's pretty easy.
The bands in question I don't want to name them, like blank and so on, either possess such high intensity artistry that internal feuds couldn't even touch the quality of the musical output. According to there's fucking 5 paragraphs.
Yeah, read it. Just let's go to the question.
Many of the acts went on to be solos. Yeah, okay.
Instead of running down the list, why don't we see if we can populate all 10 on a guess?
Oh, geez, that might be hard.
Oh, no. I think I have 1 or 2 in my head.
Well, I haven't looked at the list, but tell me how you want me to start.
Do you know how many people were in the band?
I don't think we should guess in order necessarily. I think we should see if we can populate the list of 10.
Yeah, let's see if we can populate the list. That's a good game.
All right, go ahead.
So bands that hated being in a band with each other.
Now, if you say one that's on here, do I tell you where they are?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'll kick it off. Oasis.
They're at number 2.
Perfect.
Wow.
I knew that
Matt,
would be.
You want to go next?
Yes. I'm going to say Van Halen.
They are at number 4.
Wow.
Wow. I'm going to say the Police.
They're not on here. I didn't see them.
Really?
No.
Wow.
It's already getting hard.
The only band so far, the only band that actually broke up out of the 3 that we mentioned,
right? Bands that hated being bands. All right, audience. What do you got, guys?
Oh, wait, it's your turn, Bingham.
Yeah, you're up.
Waiting for the audience here too. How about bands that hated being in bands? How about Kiss?
No, not on the list.
All right. I'm going to say
members that are gone.
The Ramones.
Not on the list. I didn't know the Ramones had beef with each other. I never knew that.
Oh, yeah.
We got guesses from the audience. Let's give them some credit if it's true. Starting with Chris Valdez. Chris Valdez says the Eagles.
Nope, not on the list because there was no one in the band. Everyone was a hired gun.
Right. I said the Beatles. The Beatles aren't on it?
Number 1. Dave, you got number 1, the Beatles.
All right, we got Cold Roses throwing out the Who.
No.
The Who now?
Guns N' Roses.
No.
Pink Floyd says Kurt Childress.
Who?
Pink Floyd says Kurt Childress.
No.
Wow.
How many?
How about
they hated being alive.
How about Led Zeppelin?
No. They fucking loved each other. No.
All right, let's see.
I don't know that you may get any of the other ones on here.
Really?
Really? Foreigner? What about Foreigner? I'm reading Rick Grimes.
No.
Stones?
No.
No, they liked each other. Anybody who worked with Richie Blackmore?
Yeah, that should be on there.
Well, remember one of the things you were telling you stopped me when I was reading that last paragraph is some of the people in these bands went on to have successful solo careers.
I heard that. That's why I said the Police.
No, but that was a good one. I would have put them on here.
How about Genesis?
No.
Is Aerosmith on there?
No.
Wow.
What about Genesis?
I like that.
You said that. Let's go back.
No, he just said it a second
for number 10. For number 10, let's go back to Motown.
Okay, Motown, Temptations.
No.
Oh, it's the Diana Ross and the Supremes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
so why
she
don't
was
you
a
go
bitch, I heard.
Go up the list and give us the genre of the band.
Yeah. Number 9, we already said, if I'm not mistaken.
No, number 9 you haven't said. You haven't said number 9.
Okay, give us a hint about number 9.
Let's just say the lead singer who became popular on his own gets a lot of shit for being kind of conservative and saying shit that's conservative. I got no problem with.
And what genre of music?
I don't know what the hell it's called because I don't think I've heard more than 1 or 2 songs. Let me see. Wikipedia says rock band.
Huh.
They were formed in Manchester in 1982. How about that?
Not the Smiths.
The Smiths.
Wow.
How is he saying anything conservative?
Lately, like in the last few
But
years,
he was Mr. Meat is Murder.
He's always getting fucking canceled lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Coming in at number 8. Oh shit.
When you sort of said Manchester, and all I could think of was belligerent ghouls run Manchester schools.
Hey.
Spineless swine, cemented minds. Go on.
How can I? Let's see. Let me give you a hint for this one.
I thought the Smiths liked being in the Smiths. I thought the big problem with the Smiths was Morrissey wanted to be in Johnny Marr.
Why are you gay?
Yeah.
What makes you think I am gay? You are gay.
What makes you think I'm gay? You are gay. No, that's good.
All right, let's roll. Come on.
Don Henley solo.
There's a debate of whether the way the most popular person in this, most known person in this band died. Some say it's not true. Some say it is.
The Doors.
No. It's kind of I've always like, really? You died like that?
In excess?
No. But that would have been, that's a good guess though, John. Because that's
Wait, is the question the person didn't die, or they didn't die the way that they said they died?
That's what I'm saying. I've heard it both ways. No, that's not that's what they say happened, but it's not what happened. The person,
But he's dead.
I'm not saying if it's a he or she, but when you look at the person, maybe they should have been on Carnivore.
Kurt Cobain? Oh no, it's somebody fat. Oh, I know what it is. It's fucking the Mamas and Papas.
Yeah, I got it. Your Mamas and
It's
Papas.
Mama Cass Elliot, because you hear that she died for choking on a sandwich.
A sandwich.
But she really had a heart attack in an apartment in a flat in London, which was
Was that the truth? Because
Yeah,
for
she had a heart attack.
even I've heard she died choking on a sandwich.
No, she had a heart attack. She was in who's the guy that does the lime in the coconut song? You got the lime in the Harry Nilsson. She was at Larry Nilsson's house, the same place where Keith Moon had a heart attack.
Something was going on in Harry Nilsson's house.
Oh yeah.
Cocaine.
Okay, coming in at number 7.
That's a good
You
one,
actually-
Christopher Valdez. Ham sandwiches with a fentanyl of the 70s.
You actually mentioned that this singer, who's bald, does a cover of something even worse than someone else you mentioned.
What the hell kind of clue is that?
What the
That's
heck?
You said it before. You said, "Oh, but if you ever heard how he does it, it's even worse."
Oh, okay. That was what was I talking about there? That was a song. Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins. Okay, you're acting like the clue ain't bad, and you got it. Okay, the number 6.
Anybody that says a white guitar has a different sound than a black guitar, you don't want to be in a band with.
Number 6 are brothers.
Like actual brothers or black guys?
No, they're actually brothers.
Oh, okay.
No, my brother, you must buy your own.
I was just about to do that when he said
I
that.
already said Oasis. Who else was?
You
brothers?
said Oasis. The Doobie Brothers weren't brothers.
I
Van
forget the
Halen, we
topic
already
of this
said.
list.
Van Halen isn't on this list, so we're gonna say it's who are brothers that played together? Bee Gees,
No, think of even before that.
Everly Brothers.
They
Yes.
hated each other?
Greg McCurtain said it. Didn't one crash? I think once the guy got paralyzed, they were like, "Yeah, we should probably break up." Oh no, we're good. We're good.
I met the non-paralyzed Everly brother at the Burger Lounge in Newport Beach, like 3 months
really?
ago. Yeah, I'm there with John Thompson from Bad Cat, and he was like, "Oh my God, do you know who that is?" And I'm like, "No." And he goes, "It's Don Everly or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
and
that's
Phil,
cool. He's
Phil was
only
the one that crashed
only
into a tree or
200.
something.
I don't know. He wasn't in a wheelchair. This guy.
No, but didn't one of them crash into something? How did the other one? You should have said to him, "Hey, you know what? You were right. Love doesn't hurt, but hitting a tree at 90 does."
Take Holly outside.
I'm going to give you a good hint for number 5. It's a metal band. And at first I'm like, wait, they hated each other? But then I was just reminded about reading this. There's a documentary movie about them making an album. And you can't fucking believe how atrocious it is for these assholes to make one fucking album. And the album that finally came out was shit.
Metallica?
Yes. Some kind of monster. And then Saint Anger came out. Then we got 4 was Van Halen. Coming in at number 3 is the last one we have to guess.
Oh, I guess he was. Wait, was he in an accident or no? It says no. It says he was. I don't know. It says he had a pulmonary
Number
disease.
3. What you got for us on number 3?
We're at 10:27, so I'll give a lame ass hint that'll kind of give it away. Who was Billy Corgan covering?
Fleetwood
Mac.
Fleetwood Mac.
Which version of Fleetwood Mac? I mean, that's like a ridiculous.
Well, it says whenever anyone discusses notorious band dynamics, Fleetwood Mac is almost always the first to come to mind. Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks joined the band. The dynamic would change. Whenever the spotlight wasn't on her, it was on Buckingham, who's rocking. There's a bunch of shit. And that's it for that list.
Out of curiosity, is there anyone with a whiter voice than Christine McVie?
I bet you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I love Christy McVie.
No,
I think she was great.
If you believe in the ways of magic,
well, I believe
oh my God,
it's time to try.
There's no soul there. If you believe,
right? No, she lacked.
No, thank you. She lacked the black.
What she lacked in soul, she made up in side of the road hand jobs with Fred Schneider.
I have a list I'm going to save for next week. It's the 10 worst lyrics by great songwriters.
Ooh.
Yeah, Christine wrote most of the songs. She wrote more hits than the other one.
She sounded like a school marm. Yeah.
Here's a question for you. Before Christy McVie and before Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham joined the band, what was Fleetwood Mac's best song?
Green Man Alicia with that 2
Oh, it certainly is not that song. I think Oh Well's a better song than that. But I actually go to the Bob Welch era, and I will say I think You Got Me Hypnotized. Hypnotized is the greatest.
I don't think I know it off the top of my head.
I don't know it either.
You do. You know it. You just have to listen to it. But look up Hypnotized. It's a great song. Sentimental Lady, the Bob Welch solo version, I like better than the Bare Trees version on Fleetwood Mac's record. But I think Hypnotized is a great, great song.
And I guess I'll save that 10 terrible guitar solos.
And Albatross is a killer song. Cold Roses says, how do you not know Hypnotized? Yeah, it's so good. But Albatross is probably my favorite pre-Bob Welch. But Bob Welch, he also had another big song besides Hypnotized. I'm trying to think of what the hell it was.
I've been hypnotized.
You'll know if you look it up, just Fleetwood Mac Hypnotized, the second you hear it, you're going to be like, oh, I knew this song. You probably didn't know it was Fleetwood Mac because it's Bob Welch singing. But it's a great song. And I know you know Sentimental Lady. You are here and warm. And well, it's 14 joys and the will to be. Yeah, the opening drums of that. And I love Hypnotized. You got me hypnotized. There was another big song that Bob Welch sang with them, and I'm blanking on it, but I like Hypnotized the best. Anyways, folks, that's it for the show. It's 10:30. It's not going to be a long show tonight.
Yeah, all right, man.
Joe, anything else you want to say before we close out tonight's show?
No, I think that's it. Good to be back.
Hold on.
Everybody, have a great week.
Let me just look something up real quick. Fleetwood Mac songs with Bob Welch. So it shows me every fucking songs. Emerald Eyes. That was solo. And if you see that, oh, that's Ebony Eyes. Hypnotized is number 5. Emerald Eyes, the Future Games, no. Bermuda Triangle. Sentimental Lady. All right. That's all, folks. By the way, I've been watching a shitload of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Rocket J. Squirrel.
You got too much time in your hands, dude.
Listen, well, I put it on when I go to sleep. You can go on YouTube. There's 11 hours of it, and you can just put it on to sleep, and nothing makes you sleep with a smile on your face. They're hearing, again. You know, it's fucking great. Hearing William Conrad, and then all the same voices. And the other day I was listening to it, and Dawes Butler's on a ton of them. I love those voice actors back then. Emerald by Thin Lizzy is a better song. I mean, there's a lot of better songs by Thin Lizzy. I think Bad Reputation's a better song by Thin Lizzy. But Hypnotize is a fun Fleetwood Mac song. I'm saying before, you know, they became big when they were in the middle version of Fleetwood Mac, the post Peter Green, before Stevie. And anyways, check out the songs, guys. Matt, Bingham, Joe. Look up Hypnotize. You'll know it. I think you will. It's a big song.
We will.
All right. How's the carnivore going, John?
Good. I've been steady for 2 weeks now without any.
Slow and steady wins the race. It's once you cross the month, Pat, it's easy to do it.
We're trying.
All right, everyone. I want to thank everyone for watching this show. Everyone else is good. We're all set. I can close it out.
Yep.
We can.
Very good, everybody.
See ya, Bo.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.